right. Thank you for joining us. So this is our first Real Producers Beyond the Pages podcast. So we've got Steve Farmer here with U.S. Bank, and we have Michelle Crouch here with Berkshire Hathaway. And this is just basically a fireside chat. I just want to get to know more about you guys and just let our real estate community know a little bit about you guys. So thank you for being my guinea pigs. Thank you for joining us.
Absolutely.
All right. So today's going to be, we're just going to talk about dogs and lending and real estate and anything else that might come up. But on that note, Steve, do you want to start us off? Tell us a little bit about why this was your realtor of choice.
Well, Michelle and I met several years ago, and it just so happened we were doing a lot of transactions together, and she seemed like a really fun person. And so before you know it, I was calling on her, and we started connecting really well, and we had a lot in common. And so the next thing you know, I'm referring business to her, and she's referring business to me, and we're the rest is history. We just took off, and I found out just how great she really is.
I love that. And I think actually you were the one, usually when I'm meeting with a business partner or I'm trying to sell you, I'm asking, I'm not usually the one giving the recommendations, right? And you did. You said, hey, listen, I've got some really great realtors that I work with. Here's Michelle, and here's her story, and here's what she does in our community. And that's really how, usually I get nominations of agents from other agents or other brokers, but Steve was the one, and that just adds to our big, giant appreciation engine with Real Producers. So I love that. We're just one relationship away, one person away from that next relationship. Thank you. All right, Michelle, tell me, why did you choose this guy? Why do you love Steve with U.S. Bank so much?
Steve has a lot of personality, and if you know me, I have got a lot of personality also, so we mesh really well. My biggest thing I think I noticed with Steve is he's got a very good Christian background, very trustworthy, and I found out people say those things, but he actually proved them to me. And also his work ethic, is very just deep like mine is. So we work not banker hours. He works realtor hours, even though he's a lender. So if I need him on weekends or evenings at almost any time, I try to be too rude and go too late at night when I'm working super late, but I'll send a text sometimes late at night, and sure enough, he answers it back and flips his little laptop open, and he goes, oh, of course, here's some clients, because they need to know if we're going to make an offer on a house, can we afford it? Yeah. And usually you got them pre-qualified up to a certain point, but sometimes they're going a little bit beyond, or the taxes are different.
Right.
And there's certain things you need a lender to back you up on, and he's a very good backup for sure.
Well, I would agree with you. Steve, you are an excellent communicator, and so we've had this business friendship that's just transitioned into just a normal friendship, and you are an excellent communicator, and I think that's key. You guys are always looking for people that will make you look like a rock star, to your clients, and just make the transaction go smoothly, and Steve does a good job of that. So
he does.
Keep it up.
Never claimed to be a rock star.
No, not well, you kind of are, though.
It's not self-proclaimed, it's proclaimed by others.
Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, it's that third party validation.
I call it a gift of gab.
Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, we need that too. If you're in this industry, you're going to need that.
I think I'm over-gifted with that.
No such thing. Okay, so Steve, couple of questions for you. What does a typical business day look like for you?
Well, I get up, feed and water the cows, and then I jump in the truck, drive to town. The whole time I'm answering texts when I shouldn't be, of course. But most of us talk to text.
You need a Tesla for autopilot.
Yes,
maybe
I do, or a chauffeur.
That's probably safer.
I typically drop off the kids at high school and then just keep on going into town. If Michelle needs me, I'll stop at Goddard because I live out by Cheney.
Yeah.
If she doesn't need me, I'll go on to the office and start herding my cats.
So, okay, rewind really quickly about the cows. Can we talk about that? Because, I'm fortunate enough, because I'm your friend, I get fun texts and great pictures and animals, and if I could have lots of animals and lots of land, I would, but I'm right in the middle of the city. So tell us about your animals.
Well, I have a small farm, 20 acres out by Cheney, and I've always enjoyed growing up on a farm the way I did, having animals, and so for a while there, we had a literal petting zoo. You name it, we had it. But I finally got my wife to understand that, we need to focus on things that we can actually profit from a little bit.
Yeah.
So we raise grass-fed Hereford cattle, and I've got one Longhorn that I'm going to try and crossbreed this year just for fun, see what we get.
Okay. Any fainting goats, chickens, any of those fun things?
We've had all of that stuff, tried it, and didn't like it. It just, some of it's just too much work.
Sure.
You know, and I've got enough things to do at my real job. But my hobby farm is really just that. It's a hobby farm. So not only do I get to have fun on the weekends mostly, and then my friends and family all get to take advantage of the beef.
Yeah. Yeah, I haven't taken advantage of that. Yeah, it's funny. Your idea of fun on the weekend probably just looks like a lot of hard work to normal people. But maybe that's where your work ethic comes from. I would assume from the farm. I mean, that's it.
Well, it takes your mind out of that, you know, that constant number crunching and customer service, where you're just always, you know, worried about this detail or that.
Yeah.
So it's more or less just working with your hands, and you just disengage your head.
Good. I like that. I think we all could use a little bit more of that.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. So what is the craziest loan you've ever processed?
Oh my.
What's your horror story? The horror, the epitome of horror stories in lending.
Well, I can't say that I've actually had a horrible story myself, but what I can say is one reason I got in this business was because my very first purchase was a nightmare. I just graduated college and went to purchase my home, and I won't name any names, but the bank I was using, that loan officer would not call me back. They would not answer my emails. They would not answer my text messages. The only way I could get in touch with them was to literally go sit in the office and wait for them to come out and answer my questions. So I had to self-educate on how to buy a home, number one, and that was without any help, and you're nervous when you're a first-time buyer, really nervous. So that
does sound
something
like a nightmare.
that
person wouldn't last
sure,
at all now these days.
I made sure that if I said to myself, you know, if I was in this position, I would never want my customers to feel like this, like they don't have a clue what's going on.
Yeah, fear.
So maybe I even over-inform customers as a result of that, but that's because I would rather they have all the information to make the best decision for them. Honestly, it's not about me or my brand or my company. It's about this transaction is very important to these people. And so I want them to know that I want what's best for them, even if it's not with me, quite frankly. If there's a better deal, I will tell you, go get that because you deserve that.
Yep. I've seen some lenders in town that do that. They're like, I can't do this or I can't, or the down payment on this lot, with my company or this brand. Yeah, that's amazing.
And if I can't do it,
back.
my job is to know my competition really well also. So I know who can do it, and I can take it to a friend or a former coworker who it just happens to be working for another outfit right now.
Yeah. No, I love that. And I speak to that almost every time I have a meeting, usually with realtors, that mindset of abundance over scarcity. And, and it's important for you, just like it is for you, to be collaborative, because the work, you're on team closing and it's not.
Yeah. And Michelle asks me sometimes, can you do this? Can you do that? And I'm sorry, Michelle, I wish I could. But at least I can tell her who I think can do that.
Yeah, that's beautiful. I love that.
Yeah, a lot of lenders I've worked with in the past, I shouldn't say a lot, but a few in the past I've worked with, they have said they could do something and took up at least 30 to 45 days of my client's time. And then I had one literally the day before closing go, this is just too much risk for us. We're not going to do it the day before.
Oh, wow.
So
just a good nail in the coffin.
If you can't, if you can't do it, just say you can't do it.
That's right.
It's pretty simple.
Yeah, people will respect that.
She would have killed me by now.
Yeah, no, that's good. That's good. Okay, what is your 5-year goal with U.S. Bank in Wichita?
I started a little over 2 years ago, just me. We brought the mortgage department to Wichita, and my goal is to grow our team to about 10 or 12 loan officers and bring on possibly some senior loan officers that may even have a team of their own. Because I feel like my success is if my team succeeds. That's where I judge my success. I'm not a glory hound. I'm not the one that has to put up the biggest numbers or the biggest loan volume. I'm not here for a paycheck. I actually want to pay it forward to my team because somebody actually stopped and took time to help me learn this industry. And now as a manager, I want to be the kind of manager that I want to be, the kind of manager that I've always wanted.
Right.
So
I love that. And I've probably interviewed close to 400 realtors in the last 3 years. And similarly with, people in your industry as well, Steve, that there's two very different types of realtors. Ones that are calculating that 3% and they can calculate 3% on any amount in their head right away, and others that are going to really, experience the longevity in the business, that really care about helping others get what they want. And then they know doing that enough and doing that in the right way, you'll get what you need. I love that. Okay. Will there be a brick and mortar U.S. Bank?
That's to be announced.
That's for John Ewing, right?
Yes, exactly. that's above my pay grade.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll be cheering for that. So then what is an unusual habit or an absurd thing that you love? Maybe, or absurd in other people's minds.
Unusual habit. Probably ought to ask Michelle that.
I don't know.
I don't know that I have any unusual habits. I like to ride motorcycles, and my wife doesn't like that. But I do it anyway. So yeah. I have an unusual habit of keeping one foot in the doghouse.
There you go. That's all right. Well, God bless you.
If you don't have one foot in the doghouse, you're not having any fun.
There you go.
One of your good habits for sure is just to show up unannounced with food. That is a habit he has.
I think that's a universal love language.
Yes.
Good job, Steve.
It is,
yes.
for sure.
And a smile. Always a smile.
Yeah, it is. And he always comes in cheerful. And it's, even if you've had a bad day, I don't think I've ever known, I can maybe tell by the smile's not as bright, but he's always got a smile, and he's always just, what do you need? Instead of the whole,
Very selfless.
Because everybody has that moment when you just want to tell somebody what your day was like and it wasn't a good day. He doesn't. I don't think I've ever heard him say anything about a bad day. And I know he has them. He is quite human, I'm pretty sure.
Well,
yes.
I'll table that until after we're not on the microphone, but also till after work hours. I won't try to, I try to leave personal things because we all have enough on our plate the last thing you want to hear is, my dog died, in the middle of your work day.
Yeah.
So we have to wait on those personal things to a later time.
Except for me, of course, because everybody tells me their sad story
because
of what I do. I got every person's sad stories. I already have enough sad stories.
That's
I
right.
want to say sorry, but can you send me some happy stories?
That's right.
What did your dog do today? It was happy.
That's right. That's right.
Stories.
Okay, so let's get into that. So it's for people that maybe didn't read your story or don't know anything about you. Surely they know your name. Tell us a little bit about your history in real estate. Why the heck did you choose this industry? And what do you do outside of real estate?
I have always loved certain aspects of real estate. When I was about, I want to say 7 or 8 years old, I actually collected Architectural Digest. So I had a huge crate or chest actually full of them, which I did not show very many of my friends because they thought that was about odd. But I took them when we moved. My father was in the Air Force, so we moved a lot. And so that massive, and they do by weight. You only can bring so much weight. Oh. And so that was one of the sad things is eventually I had to not bring I took like 4 or 5 of my favorite ones. And I always loved those. And so I've always wanted to do it, never really got into it. I had other fields I was in, and then I was recruited actually into the real estate by my previous boss. And he was great. He just said, if you ever need time, I'll make room for you. And they literally had no room for me, and they made room for me. It was pretty nice, and I liked it a lot. So it's just great. I love houses. I love people, even the little tiniest little house that you couldn't think anything. It's a little, to me, it's like, you just rub the mud off. It's beautiful, and you can. I can kind of squint and see past all the clutter, whatever happens to be falling off of it, windows falling out, whatever. I can still see what it would be.
Tough to get a loan on that one.
Yeah, and that too. And make sure we know what you're walking into, because there are loans actually for that too. Sure. So you just have to know what you're doing. So
okay, so we've kind of mentioned a couple of times. What is it that you're the most passionate about
outside of real estate?
That's right.
I am pretty passionate about animals. I love them. I am, every spare minute I have, I'm either on the phone or email or in person at the no-kill shelter here in town. So it's called LAP, or lovingly we call it LAP, which is actually a mouthful, the full, which is Lifeline Animal Placement and Protection. So it's a bit of a mouth, but Lifeline's a good name because they really are, because we have over 400 animals there. So They have lots of kitties, lots of puppies. They have a lot of other random things that get dumped off. They're like, what do you do with that? I don't know. Maybe we find them home for them eventually. So it's pretty great. Just last week, we actually got homes for 2 dogs that had been at the shelter for a couple of years. Wow. So I guess my biggest thing is we don't give up on them. So there will be the right home. And then I follow up with every day I've been texting and just saying, how's she doing or how's he doing? And then they send pictures. And one sent a video yesterday of actually with her new toy. And we didn't even know she liked toys. We had toys there, but it wasn't the right toys. He got her one of those little mallard ducks that make certain noises. And she just was having a ball. And I didn't even know she played with toys. So it's just neat things like that. You get to see all the loving stories about that as well. So I really enjoy that a lot. So I'm actually heading there after this.
Yes. Yeah. Very rewarding. I can imagine it's incredibly rewarding. I mean, animals are kind of the epitome of unconditional love. And and I can see that your life and heart are richer for that.
Well, you get paid with puppy kisses.
Yeah.
So,
I love that too.
Purrs and kisses and puppies. That's definitely, cause I do very well in real estate. And my pay it forward for sure is the animals. They don't have enough voices for them. A lot of people have a lot of charities and they say, oh, well, I support animals. And there really isn't enough. The shelter that I volunteer for has no funding except for donations. Yeah. And there's not enough. The lady that runs it used to be a nun. And she actually bought, it's called Hallmark Kennels back then in 1997 and turned it into the rescue or shelter also. And she's in her 70s and she's still just trucking along. I mean, keeps going. She's a little fireball. So it's great. So I'm hoping God will definitely put everybody on the right track and we keep going and keep growing. And it's people donate things when you think you're on your last penny and all of a sudden someone comes in and goes, hey, you know what? This is for you. I'm like, oh,
and every house needs a puppy.
I think they do. That's why I have 2.
I do. That's one of my slogans is every dog needs a home and every home needs a dog. So
there you go.
And a kitty with that. And a kitty too.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I would love to add a kitty too.
A lizard,
So shameless plug, what's the best way for people to be able to donate their time or their money or items to this rescue shelter, this no-kill shelter?
They have a website online. It's thelifelineanimalplacement.org. And since it is a nonprofit, they have their taxes right off. The things you can do, so the donation money. So that's kind of
great
nice
for
to
realtors.
do. 1099. It is, and a lot of businesses actually will have companies that will match sometimes what you donate, which is really nice. And so it makes you want to donate more. You're like, oh, well, if they're going to give $5,000, I'm going to give 10. And, you know, so it's kind of nice to have double. That. Yeah, it is. I wish we had large donations like that, but if they do, I never see those.
Well, U.S. Bank.
Yeah. Yes. Just deep pockets here.
Sorry, John Ewing.
Put me on the spot.
No, it's not you. This is John. Okay. All right. So we've already kind of hit that, what you do outside of work with the dogs. How many dogs do you have at home?
Me personally?
Yes.
I had 2. I tried fostering twice. I have 4 now because I foster failed, which means you foster and then keep them. So they call that
That's a good thing to be a failure at.
Yes, it is. So my husband is not real keen on me fostering anytime soon again because
he knows they're not leaving.
Well, we have a king size bed and there's 4 dogs in it with us, so there's not room. Well, I'm half in the bed and half out myself, so because the puppies have to have room and they have to be comfortable. So
yes, they do.
I don't sleep much, but
yeah, nope. I can relate 1,000%. I love that. Okay, what is one word, and it might take more than this, what's one word you would use to describe our market right now, our real estate market?
You could say more than one word, but individual ones, you could say it's unpredictable would be one word. Another word would be volatile, very much so. I do a lot of new construction as well as the pre-existing homes, and I've watching it and I follow along because they send out pricing. So the 2 builders that I work for will send out prices because they get raised. They don't just decide, oh, I want to make more money. Right. If their wood costs more, they have to pay it forward or charge it forward.
So they're probably updating prices constantly.
They are constantly. I would say every 30 days almost. It's just ridiculous. And people think, oh, it's just the wood, but it's everything. It's just every little nail, screw, sheetrock, everything. People forget about the house and actually needs. And so I'd say it's still going up. It's just not even, and the builders aren't happy about it. They would like it to go back down also. Of
course.
And then of course labor, how you get people to come in. One of my builders just got another framing crew, thank goodness, because that'll delay if you don't have enough crew members. So it's kind of nice to have all the extra people to help out.
You're just about sold out again, aren't you?
I am. The area I'm in Goddard is definitely almost sold out again. So it's nice though.
What area is that? And then where will you go next?
I'm in Cloverleaf Farms. It's my phase 2 that's almost sold out. I do have one more phase. It'll be opening around May. Okay. So I'll be able to continue there for a little bit.
Stay in that hood for a while.
They do. They tend to keep me in Goddard. I do love out west. I do east as well, but the west side, it's a very certain realtor that requires, if you have to know the area. If you don't know what you're doing, you're not going to sell as well, or you're going to sell the wrong thing. So it's kind of nice to have the same thing. So they are looking for other land to develop for me out in that neighborhood. So
good.
That is the plan, is to stay where I'm at.
Good. I like that. Okay. If you had a gigantic billboard in town, what would it say and why?
I do have several billboards in town.
There you go. What do they say then?
Some of them are focused on the neighborhoods that I'll have a St. Andrew's Place. I'll have a Cloverleaf Farms billboard. I'll have one with the builders' names on them. They always, of course, will have every home needs a dog, and on there as well. But I also do, the billboard company that I use allows me to pay for the skins or the vinyl, and they actually put up no-kill shelter or save a life billboards for me all over town as well. So it's kind of nice to be able to have, if you drive around, see a random one that says "Save a Life,"
right?
That's ones that they allow. Yeah, because it'll say, just adopt a shelter pet, or senior dogs need love too. That's one of my recent ones that was over on West Street. They just put up. So, and it's that senior dog actually went to a foster home, and she foster failed, and she kept him. So, and his big face on the billboard. I shared it with the group, a little of the rest of the volunteers that are at the shelter, and she's like, "Oh, that's my trooper. He's such a rock star." And so he's on a billboard. He's like, it was very much so. She's like, "Oh, he's so famous." And yeah, she did say that was great. So I love all that. It's just, everything's so connected, and people don't realize what a small town we actually are. We're large, but we're still small. We're a very tight community. I think everybody tries to help everybody. I love to say, "Help me, help you, help me." Right. And it is. It's we're all helping each other, and it's just, you got to pay it forward. You really do.
Yep. And I think that's where you find the most joy, right? There's this, trajectory where we're working, trying to establish our career and stability and all of that. And then there comes a point where, that next, sale, that next closing, it's not as fulfilling. But I think, the most fulfillment comes from the giving of the back. And
in this size town, everybody knows somebody that knows your mother. So you have to behave.
That's right. You do. You do. Yes, I love that. Okay. True. So how has a failure or apparent failure, do you have a favorite failure? Like, what has there been one that's really set you up for success?
I would say when I transitioned from just doing new construction to doing new construction and pre-existing homes, I was so used to having a builder warranty that I didn't even think about home warranties. Even though I knew about them, I didn't think how important they were. And so my first two sales that were pre-existing homes were both horrible, meaning one of them, the day of closing, the heater went out.
Oh my gosh.
So before we closed, it didn't work. So, and then the next one was the day after closing that the AC went out. And of course, they're my buyers, and the seller was like, "Not my problem."
Right.
I'm just like, what do you mean? It's like, wait, what?
Like, so there goes my commission.
It was very much and they look at you like, help. They want like, what are we going to do, Michelle? I'm like, So that was probably a failure on my part. I did not know enough. I should have learned more before I put my foot in that water.
Tough
but now
lesson.
You know that.
It is. It is very much a tough lesson. So I am a little more, you still learn every day. I swear, I feel like I'm a new agent. Once in a while I'll run into something and I go, oh, I should have known that.
Right. No, I think that every real estate transaction is different, like a fingerprint. I mean, they all have their own, personality, their own, nuances. Yeah. You're constantly learning.
Yes. I agree.
God bless you for that. Okay. Okay. So, we're getting close to the end. And so we're going to end with some speed round, but I want your speed round questions.
Well, you ask her.
Oh, okay. No,
let's interview Sam. Yeah, let's turn the tables.
Okay, fine. Then I'll ask you mine, and you ask, or what?
Perfect.
Or do you want to go vice versa?
Let's do the. All of us can answer it. How's that?
Okay, that'll work.
So my fun ones to me are things like, do you prefer puppies or kitties?
Puppies.
Puppies.
And puppies also. Like kitties as well, but puppies also. And then also, if you want to go on vacation, or if you get to go on vacation, I should say, do you want to go to like Costa Rica or Alaska?
Oh, hot. Costa Rica all day long.
I'm Costa Rica too.
Alaska.
Yeah, you're weird.
Yeah. No cold weather for me at all, please. Thank you very much.
I'm outdoorsy.
Yeah. Yes. Okay. That's true.
This was one of Steve's. He brought up. He said, "Would you want to go whitewater rafting or canoeing?"
Steve, those are both outdoors. Where's the spa question? I mean, I guess
Well,
canoeing. 'Cause
Oh,
I
no,
don't want
canoeing
to.
is relaxing, slow.
Yes, canoeing slow, and whitewater
On a
is hold
lake.
on to your seat because you may get
No,
dumped out
I'll
the
go
boat.
canoeing, so I don't have to wear a helmet and worry about
Yes,
dying.
there you go. So yeah, his spa ones were going to be, actually he did have a good spa one. He said
Okay.
camping or 5-star.
Oh, 5-star.
Camping.
And I'm a glamping, is what I like.
Okay, so you're in the
yes.
middle.
Yes, I am definitely.
Okay, there, we've got it all
I need an
covered.
RV, so for sure. So.
Okay.
Keep going. You're doing good.
Yeah, you're a great host.
Thanks. I like to do, for television, do you like to watch sports or documentaries?
Documentaries.
Sports.
Documentaries, animals, of course.
Yes. Yeah.
Once-
I'll turn the dogs thing on, the dogs show on Netflix for the dogs when I leave the house so they can watch other dogs.
Oh, that's spoiled.
Someone actually did that for their dog. I'm not sure what channel they had it on exactly because this dog's actually at the shelter now, and he's a little 2-year-old Westie, and you cannot have a television on. So I don't know what happened, but if you turn the TV on,
Oh, he doesn't like it?
Oh, he does not. He will yell at it, and he'll just he won't stop. It's absolutely nonstop.
That's hilarious.
So I've got to find him a home that they don't watch television. So it's gonna be interesting to find that for sure.
Or they have to you take them on a walk. I need to watch a show.
I know it is very much like that, or in your own room, or with headphones like these. So just have headphones on, and so it'd be
Hilarious.
interesting.
Here you go, Sam.
Okay.
Picnic or fine dining?
Fine dining.
I like picnics.
I like the picnic.
Although I can't say, goodness gracious, I don't think I've been on a picnic since I was a little girl.
Which is
so-
probably why I would want to do it. Is why same thing. I
Okay,
think
yeah,
actually
fair.
I would do fine dining in a picnic basket. Mm-hmm.
Okay, yes, that's it. Michelle and I are going on a picnic in NASCAR Park when it gets warm. Fine dining.
Yep. That's pretty good.
Okay. And the last one, cake or pie?
Pie.
Wow, I like them both.
That's okay.
hard.
You can do that. You can have both.
I actually-
You can have your cake and
eat it
your
too.
pie too.
I actually like tres leche cake because it's cake and ice cream together almost. It's not exactly that obviously, but it reminds me of when your ice cream melts on your cake.
Yeah.
That's why I like the tres leche cake. because
Tiramisu. Oh,
I love tiramisu as well.
So that's more cake-ish.
it's cake-ish.
Yeah. Like from Metis.
Well, but it has like pie filling in it almost. It's
Yeah.
like a custard pie filling in almost. So it's kind of both. A little bit. You can do
now
both
we're
of that
really
one.
hungry, and it's
know,
not even 10
right?
a.m. My favorite, so if you like the pie and ice cream, Freddy's, my son worked at Freddy's, so I had to try everything, of course, in the ice cream menu. But they, like during the holidays, they will actually cut up a piece of real pumpkin pie, throw it in the concrete. You're
I've heard
welcome.
of that. That's actually sounds really good.
Yes, so
I haven't
good.
tried that yet. My favorite restaurant is actually Cafe Bellamy downtown. And they have, my favorite usually is tiramisu, but they have just something simple like a cream custard. Something simple as that. I get it every single time. Love it.
Yeah, and they've got really beautiful strawberries down there. Love it.
I haven't had those yet. I had I'm so boring. I get the same thing. I get the shrimp ravioli and lobster bisque. It sounds so fancy.
Good.
But I eat it every time I go there, it's great.
I'm so hungry now, and all I have is coffee.
Sorry.
They may edit this, but don't you love her earrings?
I do. I love them.
I'm learning that earrings and headphones aren't going so well.
Well, at
together.
least your
That's
earring
okay.
shows. I still always like the little.
They're pretty.
Well, thank you. Would you like to borrow them?
No.
Okay.
Well, I might go fishing later.
Oh, no. This is.
We should give them headphones next time with the earrings attached to it, so it look like you're wearing them. That'd
I
be
think
adorable.
I could arrange that. Yeah, I could bring that up. I don't know if Groover Labs would like that, but yeah, I'll ask for forgiveness, not permission. Well, thank you guys. I sincerely appreciate you taking the time out of your very, very busy schedules. I know you guys are literally top producers in your industry, so thank you. I hope that you enjoyed it. I hope that our listeners and our viewers will enjoy getting to know you guys a little bit more beyond the pages. So thank you for your time.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
You bet.